Hi guys, good morning, good evening actually. So getting back to the content actually, we have section here actually, so where I'll be teaching you the introduction of Agile. Before this, I would like to just tell you this is not a kind of a regular training like what you guys will be looking for. Those are real-time scenarios, kind of use case with my experience, which I have seen in the market, my projects, my assignments, people whom I met, and the projects which I have worked. So it's a collaboration of everything actually. So yes, if someone asks me it's job oriented, yes, you can use it like that also. If someone you want to increase your knowledge and looking for a better opportunities, this collaboration is going to help you a lot actually. This is not like other guys like where they just come run the PPT and move ahead. No, this will be a real time scenario like where we'll be working with the real use case or kind of couple of blockers with other teams in the sense like I get lots of messages or a kind of email regarding like the XYZ issues happening in my agile team. I would like to have a solution for it. So combine of everything, I'll be making a kind of playlist on this. So let's go ahead. So intro of agile. So in intro of agile again, I'll be teaching you the history of agile, how agile came into the picture, which is generic, but we'll be making it more interesting. How the agile has impacted the industry. When did agile come? Why are we using agile? What are the concepts of agile? And second would be the business agility in the business world. How the business world has accepted agile actually. What is the success rate? What is the failure rate? And why is success? Why it is failure? And what agile is contributing to software industry. When you talk about agile, like what we think is agile is only used in software industry, that's wrong. Agile is in other industries too, and I'll be covering agile utilized in e-commerce, AI, and apart from that, again, web development because I work in a couple of domains, couple of projects, so that also I will be implementing and seeing how the agile works. And again, software development using agile. So because we are focusing on more on IT, right? So I'll be covering how the software is developed using agile and why agile. When you talk about agile, we have Scrum, we have Kanban, we have Spotify, we have Waterfall. Actually, again, that's also kind of run agile, but still, why agile? How different we are agile? So we're going to run the project in both the ways and check. And importance of agile in software development actually, how important it is actually. Even though we use agile, but today agile is used the way of waterfall. So I can couple of people who are seeing it might know the difference actually. Some companies like if you're working in a service based companies, the agile implementation is quite different because it will be a customer centric actually. So we don't know what the customer will expect from us. And again, all Agile Manifesto. So we talk about Agile Manifesto, Agile principles, right? So we just have that four rules, and principles. So we're going to go deep into each Agile Manifesto, Agile principles, understand where how it is being used actually. And Agile myths, like there are a couple of myths like where when you use Agile, this is what the team has to do, this is what the estimation has to done. A couple of challenges what we have faced. So Agile, I'm not saying it's going 100% success, but yes, agile is kind of short form, and I want to give an example. Actually, in agile is like so agile. Just think like this actually. So when you're using agile, for example, you're traveling from point A to point B, and you have four routes to travel. Actually, A, B, C, D. Actually, okay. You will take a shortest route, right? That's agile. That's all I can say because this actually I've seen in a couple of authors writing it, but in reality, it is what. So we're going to take up the shortest method to achieve the best goal of it and leadership vision and mission on agile implementation. So this is why I've kept this topic is because couple of leadership, what happens is they always are behind status report, deployment report, release report, but they don't accept all the agile is actually in sprint cycle. Some people say 2 weeks sprint is enough. Some people say 3 weeks sprint is enough. But how the leadership is taking it before getting into the agile, like how you have to know what are the leadership thoughts over agile actually. I have seen in my example is even though they are agile, right, but still they expect the reports to generate in waterfall, which is again a difficult moment for us to make them understand. And more agile transformation actually. So this is again a huge topic actually. We'll be covering one by one, theoretically and practically also. But agile transformation is more of a kind of a theoretical aspect actually. But implementation, it's not so easy in today's world when you talk about agile transformation. Why? Because it's more expensive. And secondly, most of the people, what they do, they actually make it more difficult, right? And that's one agile transformation deployment and practices. So agile transformation is different. And agile transformation in deployment and practices actually. When you talk about deployment practices, right? My mindset is waterfall, but my process and work should be like agile, they say, which is quite challenging. I'm not commenting negative on waterfall or agile, but still, we that is the practices like what we're following. We need to come out of it. So, what are the practices we follow? An agile mindset, and how the agile mindset should be in real world scenarios. See, normally when you talk about agile mindset, what is the mindset of an agile? It's only enough if you have a manufacturing principle? No. So you have to be a collaborative mindset actually. It has to be acceptable mindset. An example I can give is like, you have experienced guy, 15 years experience guy working as a developer and a 3 years a junior who's working as a developer. So mindset are different, right? So how that mindset you have to set and how you have to collaborate with them. And onboarding a customer in agile and collaborative. See, most of the project what happens, right? Opportunity is very less, but nowadays people are accepting this actually. They wanted to get into agile. There are a couple of organizations I've seen, even though they're following agile, they want to shut down the practices and reach the agile practices again. I mean to say they want to change the entire PMO team. They might lack something. They want to do kind of an agile contracting, agile what to say, a kind of an agile workshop they want to run and understand the agile analysis actually. So we have a couple of analysis right there, right? So how the team is accepting it, how the customer accepting it, what are the releases, the vocal release cycle, everything. Then comes introduction of Scrum. Reason why I've kept Scrum is actually initially when we say Agile, it's Scrum. So I've just kept for a mindset, but still we'll be getting deeper into each and everything actually. It is not just like I'm going to run a slide. I'm going to explain each and everything. We're going to have a role base actually how it goes. So Scrum rules. What are the Scrum rules actually? We have development team. What the development team does in Scrum, but most probably what happens is when we talk about development team, we only think that okay, this is what they are. They come attend stand-up calls, they do the planning, they give the estimations, and they just vanish. No, it is not the way development team works. And project manager, the biggest myth today is a scrum master is a project manager. It is wrong. A scrum master is not a project manager. But if a project manager is part of the scrum team or is a program manager, how are you going to deal with it? What are the responsibilities? What are the documents he has to prepare? How are you going to take the team? How he's going to take the team? Next is agile leadership. So when we talk about agile leadership, actually, do not confuse agile coach. Agile leadership is a quality like where each and everyone should carry that actually with them, with the manifesto, with the principles, with agendas. How we going to take it forward. And agile process is very high level actually, which we are doing in day to day life. So again, we'll be moving more into that. Apart from that, we have something called a sprint planning, where we will be planning the product level, sprint level, and entire project level also we'll be discussing actually. So this is something very important actually, like where it will take some time and efforts to prepare a couple of documents because I don't want you to just show some kind of a high level document and say this is what they do. No, we need to plan this, understand this each and every concept, each and every steps of the planning and writing effective user stories. The reason why I've kept you here, you might ask me a question like why Scrum Masters or project managers to write this. No, but still, when a product manager or the business analyst who's writing the user stories, there's a way of writing it actually. There's a process of writing it today. An example I'll tell you a couple of users which I have seen is they'll have all the details, but they'll not have kind of a process flow or UML diagram or a kind of architecture diagram in that. So we need to have a format actually. There is no specific format as per the PMO, but still we have a kind of a default template like where it is universally accepted actually. And sprint execution and tracking the process. As we speak about sprint execution, how we're going to start the sprint, end the sprint, in between couple of blockers comes, how we're going to handle it in the real time. Okay, and sprint review. Sprint review is something very important actually because some people get confused about sprint review and retrospective. So that we will be looking into it and release deployment actually. So before releasing the product and after the releasing the product, what a checklist. And sprint retro. This is retrospective actually, which all know, but still this retro will be different. Theoretically and practically, we have things changed, so that will be a challenge again. And metrics in Scrum. When you talk about metric in Scrum, it's not like burn down, burn up chart. We have other metrics, leadership metrics, we have individual metrics, we have team level metrics, we have something like that. We'll be getting into more in depth. And section B, the section A will be covering all those things, and section B would be this. So again, in section B, again, if I see the SDLC, software development life cycle, software development life cycle, SDLC. Sorry, it is HDHD SDLC. Yep, SDLC. Waterfall and Scrum. What are the roles and responsibilities of PM in this? How we are going to set the process or other things. And second would be planning, system analysis, design, code, QA deployment. There's a planning. In planning, all this we have to keep it in mind. And project initiation, execution, monitoring, control, and project closure. So we talk a lot about this actually, how the project is started, how it's been planned, how it's been executed, how it's been monitored, how it's been controlled. And agile project management, how the agile project management is setting the process. When we talk about agile project management, we have a couple of things in the Scrum, Kanban, Spotify, couple of things actually we are going to get into this, and roles and responsibilities, project and team management, how agile and Scrum team has to be done, managed, risk management in Scrum. The reason why agile is actually there is nothing called a particular risk management in Scrum, but in agile we have a risk management pattern. How we are going to follow the pattern actually? What are the risks you're going to find? What are the financial risks? What are the business and technical risks actually? How we can overcome it? So does how does agile PM manage risk actually? This is something important. And the risk management process actually, this is something we're lacking in the industry today, is the risk management process. As soon as we get errors, we get panicked actually. We go to the team, we ask the developer. No, that is something which we have to bypass those actually. So what is the risk? How the risk can be divided? And how the risk can be managed? And what is the potential of the risk? If the risk is not accepted, do I have any release plan changing? Everything will be, everything will be into this actually. So we'll be deep diving it. And again, agile more. And if you're looking for a deeper knowledge, I have something called as costing concept actually. How the agile contract is written initially. What is the EVM, earned value, money in Scrum, and actual cost variance, scheduled cost actually. So all these things will be there actually. Again, CPI we have, again return of investment we have. So a couple of financial aspects also will be covered in this, and these are the real time scenarios actually where I'll be covering. So I'll be really happy that if you guys come up with your own use cases or a couple of things, I'm ready to take it forward. And again, we have section B also, like where we will be getting into more deeper, like estimations, variance, and everything. Okay, so yeah, this is what actually I'll be covering. But this topic will be ongoing actually. So we have many other sections already. Real time project will be there. Things will be different actually compared to other videos or classes, whatever you watch. But this is going to be a real time scenario for me. So I urge and I encourage you people to send me good questions, use cases. If you have any difficulties, feel to reach me here on this number. Any point of you can WhatsApp me. So whenever I'm available, I will make sure I'll ping you. But one thing is that I will make sure that I will reach you out. Actually, you can reach me out anytime, or if I'm not picking the call, you can just WhatsApp me. We'll go more deeper actually. So I know this is not like a regular sessions you'll have. It's not like just open a Jira and say like, okay, this is what it happens, and you can find millions of videos on Jira or planning or something like that. But real time, this is what actually it will be for you. Okay, thank you guys. Signing off.